And it really takes an organization, individuals that are willing to take the risk to just even try it. Because the thing is, it's like, we're afraid to try even to give people the opportunity. Because again, we've been designed to be in a specific lane, a specific box, and not allowed crossover, not told that the ability to crossover is not only fine, it's encouraged, but then empowered to chase that creative expression, that creative dream, whatever it looks like. We're good? You all ready? You good? Ready? Good. All right, ready? All right. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Conversation Piece, your place to find the untold stories of Indianapolis through the perspectives of all of its beautiful people. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and I'm excited to be back for another edition here in 2025, the year of community. It is June, which means we are technically halfway through the year. It feels like we're in 2055, but we are in 2025. I checked the calendar before I got onto mic, so we're going to keep rolling with it, even though I do feel very old right now. But conversations make me feel young. I do want to make a quick announcement before we get into this conversation, though. July 19th, our next AA NHPI community market. I believe it's going to be here at the Studs, so pull up, come through. The first one was a huge success, which is why we're going to do another one. Super excited to do that. Follow me for more. So at Patrick in the World. With that being said, though, we're talking about community. My guests today are all about community. They are the board members, some of, for the Indianapolis chapter of the American Institute of Graphic Artists, or AIGA, an organization that advances design as a professional craft, strategic advantage, and vital cultural force. In Indy, they connect and support creatives here in the city by providing engaging and educational programming, opportunities for personal and professional growth, and access to mentorship and resources, fostering an inclusive and dynamic design community in the state of Indiana. They recently did just that by inviting me for a special edition of Creatives in Color for Indie Design Week. And while I am not a designer or a graphic artist, we had a really incredible conversation, which is what we are about to do right now. So I will tarry no further. It is my great joy and absolute privilege to welcome Justin Muse, Genevieve Gardner, Leah Brinkman, Maximino Eslava, and Gail Godwin to the show. Thank you all so much for joining us, or joining me. I don't know what I'm doing. That was a long intro, and I'm just all over the place now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
I just gave a big intro for the organization, but to kick us off, can you all share your respective roles at AIGA and what each of you do for work? And we will start with Justin.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick, for the intro. So I'm Justin Muse. I'm the president of AIGA, and then outside of AIGA, it's a very long-winded title, Senior Creative Services Designer at Eli Lilly.
That's a good title.
Yeah, it's long though. It's long. I get tripped up every time I say it out loud, but yeah.
I like it.
I also kind of have a long title, but I'm Leah Brinkman. I'm the communications director for AIGA. And then outside of work, I am the creative services specialist at Gleaner's Food Bank of Indiana.
Okay, I like it. Long titles. Genevieve, what is your long title?
My name is Genevieve Gardner. I have a long name, but not a long title. What am I? Oh, I'm the DEI chair for AIGA, and I am a contract graphic designer for Eli Lilly.
Okay, amazing. Thank you.
And I'm Maximino Eslava. I am the multimedia chair. So any pictures, videos that you see is most likely what I'm working on.
Did an awesome photo shoot for something we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, definitely. And I am currently the customer service representative, or one of them, within Roberts Cameras.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Gail Godwin. I'm sponsorships director for AIGA Indianapolis. And outside of that, I am a creative strategist at Indiana University.
Okay, I love it. Progressively shorter titles, but equal in impact in everything that y'all do. So I appreciate y'all for coming and sharing. To kick us off again, I gave the direct from the website description of what AIGA was, both at a local and a national level, but I was wondering if somebody could take us a little bit further into that. Like, what is AIGA really about?
Yeah. Oh, everybody looks at me.
I think I prompted that by like shifting my gaze.
No, yeah. I can kind of answer that. Specifically as a national organization, it's like the largest professional organization for design professionals. So basically, AIGA is a huge advocate for the design community, whether that's like fostering education, building a network and community. But we specifically at the Indianapolis chapter, we call ourselves Creative Connectors, and we aim to diversify the art of creativity and design in Indianapolis.
I love it. And when you say design community, what does that encompass?
I mean, I would say that encompasses any form of creativity. We really want to make sure to, showcase not just the graphic design that it's been known for, but, anything. For me, for example, photography, which is something different. Architecture could be something else. Design really is within many forms. So, we want to just make sure to get either music or, people that are DJs or people that just do something that, brings a different form of art.
Yeah,
really just
for sure.
kind of the spotlight.
We've had a lot of like shoe and fashion related people too.
Okay. Yeah, well, I went to Jeremy Salih's Indie Design Week talk, which was really awesome. I think, was that one that y'all did too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Great company that I am in. So thank you for having me. How does that, so you talked about at the indie level, you consider yourselves to be creative connectors. And I think that to me seems like the standing out point of what makes you different from the national brand. But I was wondering if you could give us a little bit more of that, like just to break down a little bit more of how that differs specifically, like what you take from national to bring to local, and then what you do here at the local level that just is wildly different than what they might be doing at a larger scale.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Max was saying. We genuinely believe that everyone is creative. And so we want to bring everyone to the forefront to that table when it comes to that. So specifically, we focus on bringing, like you said, fashion design, graphic design, even like marketers or people who are writers and so forth. Yeah. And so I think specifically National is focusing on graphic design, but we focus on any and everything. So whether it's like you're doing like game design, or anything of that nature. So we just want everyone to feel welcome because I feel like for the longest AIGA, people may want to come to our events, but they're like, oh, I'm not a graphic designer, I can't come. But it's like anyone can come, which I feel like is specifically like in your talk specifically, like, like you can kind of come and share anything. Because I mean, once you come to these talks, there's always something you can kind of take away from them. So we're kind of just expanding and broadening our net when it comes to creativity and design.
I like that. I think that when I hear the word design, I don't initially think of creative, like as a creation aspect of it, but it makes total sense that like is one like goes hand in hand. And yeah, like when we first met, which was at Pattern Creative Economy Summit last year, I ran up on the table because I've been following creatives in color, but I was like, I'm not a designer, I'm not an artist or anything so I don't know if there's any synergy here, but I was just like, hey, I think you know somebody that I know, and is there any way we can work together? And I think what has been really beautiful about working with y'all has been just the feeling of embrace that I've felt by you guys like welcoming me into your space and then working with me to develop a conversation around something that has nothing to do with like what y'all might be doing on a day-to-day basis, which I think expands the definition of what it means to be creative in that way. How do y'all like see design and creativity like coalescing in that way, particularly from a community perspective here in the city of Indianapolis?
I really appreciate that you shared your experience there, Patrick, because this hits on one of the reasons that I joined AIGA. So I've been a multidisciplinary designer. I've been a jack of all trades. Is the work that I do fitting into design in a very purist sense of the word? Probably not. But I still feel welcome and I still feel connected through AIGA Indianapolis. Like our community is small in Indy and we have to look out for each other and we want to be inclusive. Yeah. So the work that we do is really centered around bringing everyone together. As a poor kid from like rural Indiana, there were a lot of spaces, especially as I moved to Indianapolis, especially as I went into an urban environment, especially as I progressed through my college education, where I just felt neither here nor there.
Sure.
And looking for community is something that, our underrepresented populations in Indianapolis do struggle with. And so we want to be here for the community for creativity in like all its forms, whether or not you tie yourself to a designer, graphic designer, creative services designer title.
I love that. I think because it speaks to like this empowering aspect of what you do that goes beyond just like I'm a designer or graphic artist. Like, oh, you are involved, you want to express yourself in some form or fashion and you don't necessarily know what that looks like. Well, we're here to help you maybe workshop that or ideate that or springboard that if it makes sense. And like, that's what y'all did with me. You're like, oh, you're talking about adoption? Like I was like talking about a whole bunch of different stuff and we were talking about the adoption stuff and you were like, you and Genevieve kept asking questions about those specific aspects. And I'm like, should I just talk about that? And like, just that conversation left me feeling empowered to then make my own slides and to like really lean into this thing that I knew a lot about. But I was trying to be like, okay, how do I approach it from a designer aspect, which I am not, but how can I put myself in those shoes? And again, like what I love about what you just shared there is just like the idea of empowering the creative and empowering the person seeking community, not because they're a designer, but because they're a person that's just like, how do I do this and where do I get started?
I think it's interesting because we're like in the Midwest and I feel like we always hear like, oh, like Hoosier hospitality. And it is so generally true. Like people are genuinely pretty friendly here for the most part. But I think it's interesting then that like, I feel like within the indie creative community, it hasn't always felt like the most Hoosier hospitality-esque. Like I think people generally kind of operate a bit more in their own like buckets. Like if you're music, you stay music. And then, if you're an artist, you like stick with the artists. And I think kind of what we're trying to do is like bring everybody together. And I feel like it's generally been getting a lot more connected in the past few years, especially with like bigger events like the NBA All-Star who kind of like bring everybody together. But we just want to kind of keep that momentum going and introduce, people to each other. Because I think when you like meet somebody with a different life experience and a different like profession, I think you only get like better results from putting your minds together.
For sure. Well, it gives you, when you meet new people, you get new context on your own story. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You see gain a new perspective on like your timeline and thread, and it makes your communal thread that much larger, because it's like, okay, we're bringing this person into the fold now to do stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important to just, besides like the creativity aspect, just getting to know people in like a general sense, because I feel like everyone's personal story is what influences their creativity. And so we kind of want to get to the backbone of that, because I think once you get to the backbone of that, that's how other people connect with one another.
Sure.
And that's how you build that community.
So how have y'all worked to... So I think you all are navigating or a part of the organization at an interesting time where you're navigating post-pandemic life of like, what does it mean to build community? Not only that, like a lot of people are asking that question and are asking like, what communities or what community do I belong to? And so y'all find yourselves like in this space of like, we want to connect with people. Has that been like a shift from an organizational perspective to get to this, like, let's focus on people more so than we're focusing on quote unquote creatives or even design? Does that make sense? And maybe there might not be like a really simple answer to that. I think it's a pretty big question, but I'm just, based on this conversation, I'm really interested in like, how has that changed, I guess, or has it changed?
I feel like maybe pre-pandemic, it was more like networking type of events.
Oh, okay, sure.
And now I don't know if it has anything to do with the pandemic, but like most of the events now are on like a deeper level.
Sure.
Like getting to actually know people.
From a program aspect of like the event, or like the networking that's happening.
Obviously networking is still happening, but
Right.
it's like we don't throw a lot of just like come
Yeah,
meet
come
us.
have a
Yeah.
drink and an hors d'oeuvre,
Yeah,
and then we'll
yeah.
see you in 3 hours or whatever. Like, have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what was important to me is like, we're all creatives and that's what connects us. But like getting to know people on a deeper level is really meaningful and like inspiring. So, yeah.
I mean, I would say I graduated 2021 from undergrad. So it was definitely difficult to get the connections already within Indiana. Being in Bloomington for 4 years, it's like I built like a small community there, got used to it. After that, went to New York and was trying to just kind of like jump into the deep end of just networking and viewing it as that, selling myself, pitching myself. What can I do for others a bit more, but like to lift them and some like benefit them.
Sure.
So coming back from there back to Indiana, I was kind of like, is this a dead end for me, or is there going to be any progress, or what's going to be like the community aspect of it? Because I grew up as like in high school and middle school, and the community was already so small depending on where my background was.
Sure.
So I didn't know necessarily what to do or where to start to even like take it further to get further in Indiana.
Yeah.
So because of a friend that recommended me to sign up for this, I like took a chance just to see, other people that are creative. Maybe it helps me land a job, or, looking at it in a very like network only specific aspect.
Yeah.
But I think once I started getting involved a bit more and like with the Creatives in Color series and everything, it just kind of brought this other aspect that I noticed that other people really wanted, which was like just connection and like understanding and empathy and just like the whole like sense of overcoming something.
Sure.
Because every person goes through a specific experience, but hearing someone kind of be able to go through it, go past it, it just kind of like uplifts you a little bit. So kind of became like one of those like moments where I was like, okay, I may not be in the field where I want to be right now, or it may be taking a little bit longer, or I may be working a little bit harder than other people might be. But the fact that I'm seeing other people who went through that experience and like are talking about it and aren't shy about it just kind of like helped me uplift myself a little bit more, even if I didn't know them personally.
Yeah.
But these sort of interactions and these sort of events that I guess started to take a part of a bit more, just kind of like started meaning a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it just felt, it felt like a community. It felt like people that I got to know, and, they got to know me in another way. But yeah.
And maybe that's because like it's harder to get people to come to something in person. Like if something could just be a Zoom meeting, then
for sure, this could have been an email.
Right.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, there definitely has been a shift or focus more on people. I think once I kind of brought everyone onto the board, I was really, I'd say like intentional in making sure everyone aligned with like my mission, I guess you could say.
Okay, dictator, I see you playing the strings there.
No, literally. But yeah, I think one of the things that I told him that was one of my goals for the year for 2025 was like, I wanted us to be really huge on like community partnerships. I feel like for the longest, AIGA Indy was focusing on partnering with like the same groups over and over again. And I feel like that wasn't helping our outreach or our growth. And so because of that, I kind of asked everybody like, hey, like let's make a list of organizations or people that we really want to like work with and be a little bit more intentional about that. Because, a lot of people I think they're inclusive with intent, but not inclusive in practice.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make sure we were adhering to that and doing that and actively doing that in the community. So there definitely was a shift focusing more on people.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And it brings me to, it's a great segue into my next question, because I was going to ask like, who does the organization serve? And I think we talked about this, like it's people, like it's really the people. It's like, you can be creative, you can be a designer, whatever. It's like, if you are looking to tell your story and express yourself in a creative manner, like we are here for you. What is beautiful about the intentionality is like, okay, we know who we're serving. Now, how do we work with other people so the people that we serve can get placed with the right folks? So who are some of these people that you've wanted to like bring in, partner with, and who have you been able to do that with so far in 2025?
I think this is a question for me, and then I will let the rest of the board pitch in. So some of the ways that we're increasing opportunities for people to find space at AIGA Indianapolis is through sort of diversity in our locations. So we are going all around the city this year so that we offer our opportunities to a greater group of people. Like, if you're on the Northwest side, you should not be needing to fight downtown traffic to come in, to come down to the Stutz building. But that's a lot smaller.
I'm sorry if you had to do that.
One of the things that we're also doing is increasing our partnership opportunities with high school and with college-age students, because we tend to have a lot of members who are well established in their careers. But part of our inclusive, community-centered mission also means creating space for people who are exploring their creativity. So that means partnering with like the Indiana Youth Film Fest. That means offering more events at Heron School of Art and Design. That means partnering with the University of Indianapolis. And then that also means bringing opportunities for creative activity to organizations like Indie Pride, which we're sponsoring this year. Yes.
That's awesome.
Go to Pride this June.
Definitely will.
Justin, have I missed anything? Are there any other ways that we're partnering?
I think what's big for me is like, as I think about being intentional with these people we partner with, what I've noticed is like a lot of people don't necessarily know about us. So we've had to kind of go out of our way to reach out to them, which is completely fine. But I think some organizations, for example, Pattern, we just did our portfolio review with them. And so that was a great and huge success. And it's one of those things where it's like, we probably wouldn't be able to do that without their help. And so that's where like collaboration and community is really important to be able to put those events on. Be Nimble is another organization we've worked with. Green Loop Marketing, Draft, Sip and Share Wines. We're just really trying to reach out to groups that have an audience that may not, on that Venn diagram, like come together. But with us partnering with them, we may be able to reach them. And so I think being more intentional about that is important. But if I'm missing anything, let me know.
I was going to say, from like a communications perspective, I think we're trying to be a lot more aggressive of like partnering and showcasing other creatives like on the digital sides, like Instagram, LinkedIn, the website. And one of those ways is by like showcasing a lot of local artists who are having like temporary exhibitions at various galleries, and then especially like BIPOC artists. So we featured India Hines, and then also the Tierras exhibition by, I'm so sorry, Alejandra and Lena. So also kind of uplifting from a digital space as well.
There are so many, I think, at this point in time, ways to like uplift somebody now. It's like, which way is the best way? Have you found it's just like, we're going to try as many things as possible and we'll see what sticks? Or is it like we've identified a couple key areas? I love this idea of like going around and highlighting different temporary exhibits. I think we have a thriving art scene here, but sometimes we don't do a good job of like amplifying the actual artists. It's like, hey, here's a thing. And then when you go there, it's already gone. So it's like, and I think part of that is like this oversaturation of like platform options. So I guess I'm just interested in like what you found has like worked well for you so far and how you're approaching that.
That's interesting. I think like the goal with doing this is to, I don't know, it's like, yes, we want to grow our own platform, but we really just want to like champion them. And so, it's not really about like the views. I mean, obviously we want them to get views because then people are like seeing their work, but it's not like, oh, like we're going to collaborate with this person so then we can get their audience and then we can get this many subscribers. Like, it's not like, we just like, we want to just like give our, like we have a platform and we just want to like help others. But I mean, I guess from like a technical perspective, like, I'm just fishing
for secrets for my own show. So that's really
long form content, reels is definitely, I think, always. I mean, that's what the algorithm for sure favors. And then always inviting them to like be a collaborator. So we're kind of cross-pollinating our audiences. So like maybe there's somebody who watches them that could like benefit from seeing us and vice versa.
Yeah.
And cross-pollination is such a good term, Leah, because I think of it almost as creating a community fabric. Cross-pollination is a different metaphor, but it hints at exactly the same thing, which is how do we bring people from this group and connect them with this group and this group so that we create this more interconnected, like tightly woven fabric. We have beautiful threads in each of our individual creatives and creative inclined individuals. How do we bring them together?
Speaking my language, 100%.
And another thing I think, like being on location with like these artists and like interviewing them and whatnot, I feel like there's a good way of like promoting them, or at least having the audience connect with them within just like, I guess, within the interviews or whatnot. I want to make sure that they feel comfortable, that they're just comfortable in front of the camera. It's just a phone. It's not the news, and it's not live. So I want to make sure that they're feeling, comfortable and just like expressing their art as how they see it.
For sure.
Because at that point, that's the way that we're going to get the audience to like view their video and connect with their video. And I mean, with like India's video, it was, I would say, one of the ones that like people interacted with the most.
For sure.
But it's, again, like she has people that know her, but there's people that don't know her and that really enjoyed the show and really enjoyed like just watching, like seeing her work. And, there's more shows that she's on, as well as with like Alejandra and like the connections that she has within the Latino community and, and Leda as well. It's just, these people are like in the community and they're uplifting each other, but it's just, it just kind of takes just even if it's us and even if it's just two people that we're bringing their work to, it's like those two people are now like attached to them. And so they connected with with that short video, even just like for something. So,
well, we've mentioned intention and intentionality a lot in this conversation so far. And I think each one of those answers speaks to it in a different way of just like, so what I'm trying to do on the show and what I was struggling with for a long time was like I'm not achieving the number result that I have been seeking or chasing after. And I realized at a certain point, I'm like that's not why I started to do these conversations in the first place. It's just, I just want to have like an authentic conversation, get to know somebody, get to know the city better. And I think when I love that that you talked about just like we're eschewing the numbers. Like, sure, we want the numbers because when you partner with people, like they want to see hard data. It's like I can conceptualize all over you all day, but the hard data is what's going to get us to the table and sign contracts. But I think at the end of the day, when organizations specifically take the approach of like, we're going to be intentional about how we tell the story. And when we are uplifting an artist, we're going to make sure it is about them. And I think as an organization, it can be really hard because it's like, how do we tell our own story when we're really busy telling everybody else's story? But I think that's what makes your work so impactful. And like for me, just speaking from experience, post my Creatives in Color talk, so many people came up. Like one of my big struggles with telling my story has been, how is this going to resonate outside of my communities of adoptees or people in the adoption constellation or Asian America? And what this Creatives in Color talk showed me is that it will resonate in ways that I could never even have comprehended before. And the only reason that it had the opportunity to do so is because y'all are intentional about giving the space to me. And like, I can mess up all the slides that are introducing the event. And you're still going to be like, hey, we're still going to do the podcast. We're still going to come on, and work with you. Or however we can like make this partnership continue to happen. I think it's really inspiring. The intentionality behind it, because I think as I have more conversations about the city and as we talk about what does it mean to build authentic community, the thing that I see lacking the most is the intention with follow-up action when it comes to this work. And I think that y'all are modeling what it looks like to do that. And from my perspective, do it successfully. I won't speak for the organization how that's going because I think we're in a tough time right now. Okay, so we've mentioned, and like, again, cross-pollination, the threads. I talk about the fabric and the individual threads all the time, so I love that metaphor. I think Creatives in Color is part of this cross-pollination. Like this is a program that allows you to highlight the individual threads that show us how incredible the fabric is. And it gives us a more diverse idea of what that fabric looks like. What is the program? Like, can you talk about how like it came to be? Because I think it's born out of like you stepping into the AIGA.
Yeah.
And it's like an indie specific thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So the story of how it started. So this was 2022. And so I had been on the board. This was like my second year, and I came on as DEI director. So I was actually just telling them, like, for me, starting Creatives in Color was a bit of like, it's a bit healing for me, just because I feel like I started it with this intention of giving myself what I didn't have when I was like a student or like up and coming designer. Because like I was going to events or like trying to find this thread of like community and so forth and wasn't finding it. And like the talks that I was going to, it wasn't from people I wanted to hear from. And I felt like people weren't being transparent or really honest. And I was like, what if I just like on a whim create something? Originally, it actually wasn't going to be a speaker series. It was going to just be like a meetup. But Kristen actually told me, she was like, you kind of have to have some intention behind it. Meetups aren't like that successful without any like actual like programming and so forth. And I was like, okay. And so then as I started to think about it, I was like, oh, what if I just bring in people to give a talk in their respective fields and just see how like it goes? I will say I was very scared in 2022 when I started it, because I'm like calling all these random people saying, well, you come do this thing for me. And like do it for free too. And so it's like, and it's funny because like as I was reaching out to people and I was like, hey, I want you to share your story. I think a lot of them were like very scared to be honest. But I kept telling them like that was the intention of this speaker series, was like, I want you to come, you have this platform, come talk about your experience, your journey, and what it's like being a BIPOC creative in the indie community, so that other people can actually hear it and learn from it. Because I feel like in some of these events, people come, they do a talk, and it's very like scrubbed clean. You don't actually hear what you want to hear. Because there's things we're all going through at work and so forth, but it's just like, oh, I don't know if anybody else is going through it. I don't know if I can talk to them about it.
Well, and then we have this idea of like, oh, we have to tell our story in a specific order, like in a boxed way. Like we have to fit it to make other people feel comfortable with it. Like we're trying to meet them at that point. So
it was scary because I was just like, I'm telling them like, hey, you can say whatever you want. And I'm like, I don't know what they're going to say type of thing. But I think as I like started it the first year, actually, I gave people like prompts based on their like background. And then they presented based on those prompts. And then I saw that was a little too, I think that was putting them in like in a box and they couldn't share what they really wanted to share. And then that following year, I kind of let them talk about whatever they wanted to talk about. And then now we've gotten to Creatives on Creatives, where we just bring two creatives together and they have a conversation in front of a crowd and get to know each other. But yeah, it just started because I wasn't seeing enough people of color in the creative community. And I'm like, there's not a lot of people advocating for them. And so with me complaining about it, naturally I'm like, I can't just sit and complain. I have to do something about it. Naturally, be intentional about it. And so that's kind of like why, how it started. And it's been great to see what it's kind of grown into and bringing them all along and having everyone help and so forth. But yeah, it's been very healing for me.
And I mean, that specifically is what inspired me to join the board. I went to a Creatives in Color, and then I went to another one, and then Justin was like, hey, who are you? Like, you know, I mean, it was just inspiring to see something different. And then when he approached me and was like, would you be interested? And I was like, oh, yeah, I would, you know, like, that seems something worth my while to help provide for other people so they can be inspired as well. So
Is that all of your board origins? Justin just sees you at multiple creative and colors and they're like, all right, hey, you want to come here? I have a seat for you.
I would say that probably for me, it was a bit more of a chance than anything.
Sure.
The person that kind of mentioned that they knew Justin and that he was a part of this board and just kind of like, maybe the group of people will be nice. I applied for the graphic design chair position at first, but, with other designers in the world, everyone's applying for that specific position. So it didn't fall in that direction for me, but Justin had reached out saying that he was working on this thing that he wanted to, lift off, which was Creatives in Color. And I was just like, I don't know what I could really do aside of just kind of attending. And I kind of felt like, I don't want to just be here and say oh, I'm part of the board and sit around and do nothing.
Right.
So I was like, I've taken pictures for so many years covering events. So maybe I can just do that and we can use it for social media and just kind of give some recap, show that there's people coming to these things and that it's worth, coming to. So then it just kind of led into doing more of that and to maybe figuring out more promotional things and whatnot.
For sure.
So it's been
I love it. So you talked about Creatives in Color has now evolved into Creatives on Creatives, which I love too, because one, it gives two people an opportunity to have a platform. Two, y'all don't have to really do anything now. It's like you two make the conversation, and we'll let you take it from here. Where do you hope the series goes? What is the future? I don't know. Creatives on Creatives, I think, is fairly new. Is that last year that it started? Okay. So obviously I'm not saying, hey, we need a new permutation of this, but is there a place that you hope that for y'all that you hope this series could go or somewhere you would like to see it go?
So this year we're doing Creatives on Creatives again, but then are you going to say about next year?
Yeah, we'll give them a little sneak peek. We'll give them a sneak peek. So I think for Creatives in Color, I think we've gotten to a point now where it's become this brand.
Yep.
We're building a brand. And so we're trying to see the many different outlets under this umbrella of Creatives in Color. And so we're going to do Creatives in Action, which I'll let Max speak about. So that's another outlet of Creatives in Color. And then now we have Creatives on Creatives. And then next year we will be doing a one-day conference for Creatives in Color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growing.
So we're definitely,
I heard it here first. You heard it here first. That's awesome.
So we're definitely trying to continue to expand it as much as we can. Because as we are getting feedback, kind of like you said, people are enjoying it and they want more of it. So it's how can we bring that more to the table and how different many ways can we spin it?
Yeah.
I think naturally as I'm a Virgo. I'm always what can I do that's new and how can I keep it fresh and so forth. So I don't know what else to come after that. I've only thought up to 2026 right now.
I mean, it seems like you got some new stuff coming around the corner. A one-day conference, Creatives in Action. You got new stuff coming, it seems like.
Yeah.
So for Creatives in Action, it was just kind of this idea of there's workshops and there's things to kind of attend to and everything. Yeah. But, it's also kind of hard to get access to those things a little bit more frequently. So for me, learning a new skill or wanting to learn a little bit more of a different role, it's kind of tough without really getting my hands on actions for it. So I felt learning from other designers or other fashion designers or people that, work within ceramics and whatnot. I just felt having some sort of course or day where it's just one person, it could be a previous speaker of ours or someone that wants to dedicate their time to teach on a specific kind of skill or lesson in a respective field, either if it's color grading for videography or if it's DJing and doing a mix.
Sure.
Just coming up with these ideas of okay, if you had an interest in it and you want to learn about it, here is this workshop where it's solely focused on that. It's a small group of people. You're learning from one of the people in the field, in the industry, and making it accessible not only just to people that are maybe looking into switching careers, people that are starting in careers, or maybe even students that are, don't have access to that in their own schools because sometimes our programs aren't funded as best as they could be. So, it's like I wanted to come up with something that would be accessible for people of all ages. So that way, hopefully it can draw more of a crowd and just we can see those different outlets of creativity in Indiana that people wouldn't automatically get access to. Because I didn't get access to a camera until I was like senior year in high school. And so I would have loved to have learned a little bit more photography and gotten a step ahead. But it was until I had the privilege at that point to really get access to it. So kind of allowing that sort of access a little bit earlier to people, or at least the opportunity to, if they're interested.
Yeah. And I think that representation is important in seeing those BIPOC creatives doing those workshops. Because even me being like in school and being a designer, there weren't many other people of color in my field. And so it's like this weird reverse psychology thing where it's like, should I be pursuing this? Should I be doing this? Because even my sister struggled with that, with being in interior design. And so it's like, how can we let people know that like these careers do exist and these people are doing them? And so that's why I said we want to be a huge advocate for creatives in the community.
Well, that's the thing is like a program like this, even if it only happened one time, you don't know the impact that has on a person 10 years from now, 20 years from now, who can then maybe like comes back, teaches as a creative in action, or is like, hey, I'm going to lead this thing now, or joins the board. Like on that, they can trace that back to, I took this color grading class with Mike Lee at Creatives in Action. And like that really piqued my interest in videography. And now I'm here doing this thing. Like you never know those moments. And it really takes an organization, individuals that are willing to take the risk to just even try it. Because the thing is, it's like, we're afraid to try even to give people the opportunity. Because again, we've been designed to be in a specific lane, a specific box, and not allowed crossover, not told that the ability to crossover is not only fine, it's encouraged, but then empowered to chase that creative expression, that creative dream, whatever it looks like. So I love that. I'm super excited to see this program. I'm super excited to learn about the conference. Like, y'all got some cool stuff cooking. More creatives on creatives, like lots of stuff coming up, I think. All of this rooted in a community, which brings me to a recurring segment that we have on the show called Give Them Their Flowers. Shout out to Madeline McKinnon and Frida's Flowers for sponsoring this segment. But this is where we ask our guests to shout out a person or persons or entities or whoever they feel like deserve their flowers. At this time, I've got a bunch of people here, and sometimes it can take a long time to figure out who we want to shout out. So we have a recently elected president here with us for AIGA. I think Justin has done a lot of...
Me.
I was like,
well, if you didn't know, breaking news, new president. An incredible person, somebody who's poured into me in the very short time that we've known each other, and somebody who I think is doing the work to uplift creatives in the city. I was wondering, as a collective group of people who are working under and with him, as a team, as collaborators, can y'all give Justin his flowers?
Definitely.
You don't all have to say a thing. You can all pull it into one thing, however you want to do it.
I mean, I have no idea how you have the time to do everything that you do. Like, he puts these lists together and then actually does them. Like,
Oh, nice.
I'm like still making the list, and he like follows through and like just makes a goal and it happens. Like there's not many people that are like that. And obviously it's worked to at least get us to try and help you.
I think it's great you mentioned that, Genevieve, because I have actually asked Justin last week, how do you find the time to do all that you do? I am really encouraged by being on a board. This is my first year on the board.
Nice.
And we are a board that not just plans, but also executes. We don't make big dreams. We also like go out and make it happen. And a lot of that is due to Justin's leadership, his accessibility, like transparency in his vision. We're really, really lucky to have you, and don't leave.
Aww.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd say within the last 3 years within the board, it's been, I mean, you definitely kept AIGA even before you were in the position, kept it going and kept something interesting within the org. You've definitely have worked I would say, very, very hard within making things work. And even if things are kind of getting difficult, you take a different route, or you're like, it will end up happening. I don't know how, but it will. So seeing that like can-do attitude and that sort of like perseverance has definitely been encouraging. Because at times, even for me, where I'm like, I don't know if I can give up, but if there's one thing I will do is try. And, it always works out because you are supportive and you want to uplift other people. And it's visible within like the stuff that you've created, but also like within your personal relationships too. Like you're there to support and you're there to provide. So yeah, it was visible.
And weren't you like a little bit recognized by national, like for creatives in color?
Oh, on a call,
Like,
yes.
yeah,
On a call,
yeah.
yes.
And
Thank
like, just to say this, not every AIGA chapter is as like thriving or building on itself. Like, I think we absorbed the Cincinnati chapter recently.
Okay.
So it means a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to say my bit.
Get it in. The floor is yours.
I just want to say I think you're an incredible leader. You're like everything that I like aspire to be as a leader. Like you like follow through. You're really intentional, and like you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna tell anybody to do anything that like you wouldn't do. But then you also like want to build relationships with all of us. It's like if you were my boss, I think I would be very happy. So thank you.
Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you
that
all
was.
for sharing.
I appreciate that.
I will allow you a chance to give flowers to these fine folks or anybody that you want to give flowers to as well. I won't make them just shower you with compliments. You get a chance to shower compliments out yourself.
No, yeah, I want to do a huge shout out to my board. I think even though they said all these nice, kind words, I know I ask a lot from them. There's always things I want to do. I'm like always constantly thinking. I'm always on go. My brain is always spinning. And so like we'll be finishing one thing and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this now. And can we do this now? And then I'm like, can somebody figure out to do this? And so I just want to praise all of you for your hard work and like just leaning into my big ideas and helping like making them thrive and come to life and so forth. I really appreciate it. To all of you and the ones that aren't here, it means a lot, especially when we can all align on a vision and carry it out and carry it through. I think it speaks volumes about us and our board and so forth. So I appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah.
I'm loving the vibes. Thank you all for sharing that. This is our vulnerable segment. So shout out to Madeline. Shout out to Freeze Flowers. This is where we tap into our vulnerability a little bit. We are coming to a close on our conversation. I really appreciate y'all coming through and sharing all that you've shared so far. You've already announced an exclusive one-day Creatives in Color conference. So I didn't even know that's new to me. That's news to me. But you have something else coming up. So as we get ready to wrap up here, let's drop some more exclusive news. What's coming up soon that people need to know about?
Yeah, so last year for the third year of Creatives in Color, we had a kickoff party and it went really well. And this year we were trying to figure out how can we do the same thing but be a bit more intentional. And so again, going back to my big ideas, I randomly hit them with, hey guys, what if... I was like, what if we do an art show? And so it actually will be happening. So June 20th of this year will be our art show. It'll actually be here at the Stutz.
Amazing.
From 6 to 9. And we'll be highlighting some of our previous speakers from Creatives in Color, as well as other BIPOC local creatives in the community. If you guys want to say anything else.
And that's it.
I thought of a sponsor, that High and Mighty.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So artists that have been a part of the Creatives in Color, they're going to be displaying their work. Are other people going to be in here too that you're going to have showing out?
Yeah, we'll have a lot of different artists. We don't want to give away too many names.
Okay.
So stay tuned on our social media and
Stay
look out.
tuned.
for an invite from that. And we'll be sure to share, I think, the entire list at some point. But yeah. And then Creatives on Creatives is happening again this year too.
Okay.
So that'll be after the art show. So that'll start in July of this year and run until November.
Before, the day before.
Oh my God. And then we have something else.
Okay. You got more announcements? We don't have to break it here, but we can.
Yeah. The day before the art show, we actually will be doing a special edition of Creatives in Color. It'll be our Juneteenth edition.
Amazing.
And it is in partnership with Creative Mornings and Black Girls in Art Spaces. And it'll be featuring 3 artists in the show: Ashley Nora, Felicia Carr, and Amia Mims. So stay tuned on that.
That is awesome. Double exclusive. We're dropping new Creatives in Color and Creative Mornings information here. After a really incredible hot takes edition of Creative Mornings, this is super exciting. I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell. I'm excited. That's awesome. You see, y'all have a lot of stuff going on. You said he comes with big ideas and then he says, can you guys do this? And now you're doing it, I guess. But you're making it happen. And that's really, really exciting. Thank you all so much for coming through and sharing and being a part of this conversation and letting us break new news on here, but also just have a better understanding of what y'all are doing in the city. It means a lot. Gail?
Thank you so much, Patrick. And I just have to plug this as sponsorships director. If you want to get involved with our creative community, or you're looking for ways to partner or become like part of everything AIGA Indianapolis is doing, hit me up or hit Justin up. Just Google us or find our email addresses, Justin at indianapolis.aiga.org or Gail at indianapolis.aiga.org. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right. If you're looking to partner, you heard it here. We'll have emails linked in the show notes. I think I know how to do that, but if not, they'll be in the show notes so you can copy and paste. How else can we support y'all going forward? You got a lot of events coming up, so obviously go to the events. Just tap in with whatever else like you see on socials that's going on. What other things? What are the best ways to support AIGA and Indy specifically? How do we do that? How do we find you? How do we follow you? All those things.
Well, definitely, please follow us on our social media. That's how we like get the news out the fastest. So LinkedIn, Instagram, especially, that's kind of our biggest audience. And then we're always looking to partner with people. Like we don't want to, in a great world, we just wouldn't say no to anybody. But if you like, even if you think your mission doesn't align with ours, like I promise you it does in some way. So we're always looking to collaborate, always looking to partner. So please hit us up.
Okay.
And they can sign up for our newsletter. On our website. Yes.
Newsletter of the website, AIGAindy.com. What is the website? Indianapolis.aiga.com.
Yes.
I'd say one more thing as well. If you feel like you want to be a part of something and you want to just find a way of supporting, even if it's not financially, volunteering, helping us out with these events, with all the ideas that Justin comes up with, we will sometimes need a few more hands on deck. But we want to make sure to include people and connect people again in different ways. So, you know, if you have some free time and you want to just meet other creatives and also support the indie creative community in some way, volunteering is also very, very welcomed.
For sure.
We'll have a brand new, easy platform to do that on the website, hopefully coming very soon.
Famous last words.
Stay
Easy
tuned.
new platform to use. It's super exciting. No, that is really exciting. Y'all, they have a ton of things coming up. We just talked about that there are going to be opportunities to volunteer at. So tap in. This is how we build community, is by getting involved. We can be intentional, but without that follow through action, those words can ring hollow. So Justin, Leah, Genevieve, Maximino, Gail, thank you so much for being a part of the show, for doing what you do here in the city, and for just being amazing human beings. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having
me.
Absolutely. Real quick, for everybody else, new episodes of the show every Tuesday on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. For everything else Conversation Piece related, conversationpiecePod.com, the merch, archives, and the open door if you're interested in participating in that. Next AA NHPI Market, July 19th. So make sure you tap into that. And I think that's it. That's John Overton and Popular Rapture on the mics, Mike Lee and Mike Lee Production on the cameras. Shout out to Pattern and shout out to Stutz for this amazing space. Shout out to Madeline Alan McKinnon, and shout out to Frida's Flowers for sponsoring our show. Shout out to Talha and the Wooden Gosle for making this incredible piece that you see right behind here. Is first episode that is appearing with our logo and stuff. It's really awesome. Make sure you hit him up for that stuff. And last but not least, shout out to, actually not last but not least, but shout out to my wonderful guests, the AIGA board, for being here, for sharing so much. And yeah, last but not least, for sure, shout out to me for hosting the show. I've been Patrick Armstrong, and this has been Conversation Piece. See y'all soon.